Greetings. Today I'm doing this YouTuber thing when I rate stuff. It's called tier list, and since I'm bored, I decided to rate my own albums because I make music. I know it sounds strange because everyone today is a rapper, SoundCloud rapper, a music maker, beat maker. Everyone writes something, makes a game, makes everything. So, um, but as pretentious as it may sound, I decided to, why not? I'm just going to rate my own stuff, look back at some things, and just talk about it, because I may interest someone in what I do, but it's more of a mental exercise in honesty. So I'm going to start in chronological order. And the first release, and some of them don't exist on my bandcamp page. Some of them are really obscure, maybe fortunately, maybe unfortunately in some cases and others, but the first one is from 2020, and I think it's called whatever, I don't even remember the name. It's called whatever it is called. You may not remember the name because I didn't remember, because it's just gibberish for no reason. I wanted to invent a language, but I didn't. I was 13, dumb, whatever. So it was 2020, I think it was summer and quarantine. I was like some kind of time was very turbulent. So this album is very small. I think it's barely 30 minutes, and the majority of it is just noise. There's a 9-minute track that is just noise, like noise. If you like Merzbow, you probably know, but yeah, that's like noise. And the others are pretty nice. I decided to play guitar in some of them. And some of them just have plain FL Studio kind of music. Now some of them are really surprisingly nice for someone who's 13 years old, but still it's not a great album. So I do get the vibe that I wanted to get here, when I was 13 and so on. I even customized my page on Bandcamp. I like this stuff, so I don't know, I might just make B tier. So yeah, and it's probably going to be the the most honorable place because some of them are pretty bad, and yeah. So that's when my project was called Winstore, whatever that means. I just came up with the name during my PE classes. So I changed the name a couple of times, but it was just me, just my little own thing, whatever. So the next one, chronologically, will be True Desires, which is an interesting name. I think I thought it out. I even thought about the design. I invented my own, so to speak, font for this, and I wanted to make it a hardcore, hardcore techno record, whatever. Well, I'm not going to call it a record, but whatever. Everything is just digital nowadays. I call it releases, and I think it's more like EP, and the majority of my releases are EPs. and that's an interesting phenomenon. But so it's not as good. It has like maybe some good moments, but it's just it's very underwhelming if like looking retrospectively. It has one interesting track that I still kind of get. It's very interesting, but all in all, the change of my DAW, digital audio workstation, I changed it to Reaper, and I'm a very avid Reaper fan, whatever, not an Ableton person. FL Studio just sucked. It didn't allow me to save my projects, so yeah, I think it's going to be somewhere in the B tier. So you're starting to get like the you're going to see the pattern repeating here. Okay, so what's the next one? I think chronologically we are still in no, this one was in 2021, so we are in 2021, and the next one I believe was No Sense. Not nonsense, but no sense, exactly. That's because the way I felt, you know. So it was summer of 2021, and there was some kind of shift in my music production. I think whatever. I mean, I was 14, so I added one release that was like barely EP. It had like 2 or 3 tracks, but I decided that it's very important for lore reasons, whatever. So I stopped at the No Sense, and I think that was the last Windstor album, because Windstor is a bad name, let's be honest. It sucks. So I was 14, right? For history reasons, and I decided to start getting more into sampling, so it had more like interesting sample decisions, and I might rank it better, you know, like A tier, but I think it's still kind of too much, so I might need to create another one. Like, yeah. So it's gonna be in the limbo, because I'm not sure how to feel about this one. One that I just recently added that caused my brain to short circuit, you know. And this one is called Host, and the lore behind this release that I released under some kind of net label that is kind of dead right now, so it's not a part of my discography on my bandcamp page. Well, so as much as pervert as I was, I basically looked up some Homestuck fanfiction on Archive of Our Own, and I liked one particular when Kinaya was like some kind of a parasite in Rose's body, and I don't know why. I might have unlocked some kind of secret weird kink that I didn't even explore, but I don't know. Do whatever you want with this information, but that basically was some kind of inspiration behind this one, and it's kind of weird one. I don't know how to feel about this one, so I didn't give it a listen before, but based on my memories, I'm probably going to place it somewhere in B tier. Okay, so a lot of them are going to be like really mediocre, and that's very like, that's very kind, you know. So yeah, you're moving on, and the next one is when I decided to rename my project to Birdcage. I know that there is one artist that already has that name, so I renamed to Unknown Birdcage just for the sake of it, but still I gave up on it later, but whatever. That time I decided it would be Birdcage. And this one is the first one, the first release. It's also an EP. It's more like dark, and I think I wanted to make it more like into maybe industrial, maybe some kind of dark wave, maybe ambient-ish. Back then I wanted to make a game actually, and a lot of these records releases started as some kind of original soundtrack albums for projects that never saw the light of the day, unfortunately. And by the time I finished it, I think it was like month already. I turned 15, and I said, okay, whatever, I'm just going to release it. And it was supposed to be more like dark one. It was inspired by Silent Hill in a way, and you can hear that in some places, but it has one track that I'm really proud of, by the way. But other ones, I don't know how to feel about them. It's very like, I don't know. So it's probably going to be in the limbo tier, for ones that are cool, but not cool enough, you know. So the next one will be the first LP. It was supposed to be an LP, and I think it's like 40 minutes long, like barely above 30 minutes or something like that. And it was called like Weird Core Dreams, whatever. It's not the original cover for it. The original cover was drawn by myself, but I didn't like it because I had some kind of weird dream, hence the name. But whatever. So this one is very interesting. I think it's shifting more towards the industrial sound. And the thing is, I didn't really like this label, but some people said, well, it sounds like industrial. You make industrial music, and I was like, whatever. Because I wanted to make techno music or some kind of cooler music. And by that time I think I started to listen to Nero's The Day at Disneyland, so it kind of shifted into more like maybe breakcore-ish, avant-garde, experimental kind of thing, whatever. So I have mixed feelings about this, So, but it had some good stuff. So, um, I don't know. I feel like a bit here. It was a bit of a downgrade actually, even though it had a few good tracks. So it could have been a nice EP, but I decided to make an LP, and it worsened the quality significantly. Um, so regarding the next one, I forgot to actually add it. It's called www whatever, and it's just one of those gibberish names, you know. Sometimes I just run out of ideas because I'm more of a art person than words person. I'm not very great with words, even though I did write some small stories and I found some kind of weird pleasure in it. So I don't know, I'm still not really great with words. So yeah, the majority of like names for these tracks are just gibberish. So when I tried to distribute this some tracks from this release, it didn't get approved for obvious reasons. So yeah, I think that was the first album when I got like electric guitar. First used the electric guitar in one track on this release, but this one was like really more heavy. I really wanted to make it sound like industrial or Godflesh Swans-ish stuff. So I was really into industrial sound. So I think it's great because it's just 5 tracks. So again, making EPs is good when you just know that you might not give. I don't know. It just races your time itself, whatever. I was like in 9th grade, and we had online lessons, and during the breaks I recorded the guitar. That felt really cool, you know. So this one is cool, so it's gonna be like here. Cool in terms of like, yeah. I think none of them are going to be S tier, but we'll see that. There are some really good ones in my opinion. It's not always gonna be just shitting on myself. So next one is I don't know how it's called. I think it's called Pizza Theater or something, because pizza, you know, just look at it. And it's funny to me because it's just centered around pizza, and there's one track about pizza, I think, like some kind of I don't know. So that was December. It was like my Christmas episode album, you know. I think you too had like these Christmas compilation albums, so that's like funny to me. And it has some kind of Christmas vibes, and it's like my last pre-war. I know that it sounds insane, but it's just as it is. That's my last pre-war release, and I don't know how to feel about this one. It's very fun. I had fun making it, but all in all, it's just I don't know. I feel like it's above average performance, and in general, like in my context, in context of my stuff. So yeah, so this is pre-war music. Yeah, and this one is called 8, I think it's called 32 GB Ocean. And this one was more into electronic music. It was like still heavy, but more towards some kind of breakcore, hardcore stuff. So it had more like killing Victorian child kind of music, not industrial. There were no guitars, no nothing, but I think it had some kind of industrial edge to it. So yeah, that's like March 2022, and I'm gonna be honest, I really like it. So 8 here. It had some, I don't know, I just like it. It's one of the few releases that I myself like it. Like, you know, like I might actually release it, you know, like on my bandcamp page, because it's not on my bandcamp page. But I think it sounds cool. It really does. And the next one, I think it's called Ego Boost. Again, that was supposed to be a soundtrack for my video series, the animated series that did not take off for obvious reasons, because I'm a loser or whatever. But it was a nice time. I think it was kind of depressed, but not in the depressed, but more like a teenage angst kind of depressed. So that was kind of sweet. I don't know why. Yes, I'm going to romanticize my teenage angst. It had some good stuff, but I don't know. It promises a lot, you know, like the sound of it. It's very interesting. It's very like industrial, but it's very like it has good vibes, but it just doesn't elaborate on it. I hate it when I listen to stuff from my earlier years, and I realized that I could have made it better, much better, but it just doesn't. Yeah, it sounds like underwhelming in a very like upsetting sort of way. So I will make it a beat here, because it's not very like, it's not even on my bandcamp page. And the next one, I think it's gonna be this one. It's called self-titled, and it's one of the um, last ones that are like under the name Birdcage, and I distributed it under the name Unknown Birdcage because yeah, there's already some kind of person under that name, and I think it's a nice one. It's just I don't know. For this time in my life, it was kind of cool, and some people liked it. Some people did because I released it on my social media account. Some people were like, "Did you do this?" It's like, "Yeah." So I don't know. It might have gotten a bit more attention, but it didn't. But I feel like it's a very good one. So A tier. For good memories and good everything, just good vibes. I don't know. And in terms of music production, I did make it kind of interesting. It's not perfect, but for myself during that time, I think it was great. And the last one under this weird name, Birdcage, Mozgadrebilki, which is whatever it is. It's spelled in Latin letters, and it's just entirely guitar, you know. I just wanted to get really into like some kind of guitar sound. It had like one, maybe two sound tracks. One of them was added later that were good, but no, I just don't know how to feel about this. I feel like it's very, very, very bad, and I don't know. Maybe C tier is good because it's just not good. I didn't pull it off. It might actually be D tier, you know. So yeah, it's bad. It really is bad. It's shit. So now we are entering my gold age. This one was like, I don't know, bronze age maybe. So that's like gold age of my music. We are entering in my life in general, because I turned 16 and my 16 was sweet 16. So it's not going to overshadow the general performance. Even if I had good memories, I'm not going to let nostalgia skew my results, my session. So the next one, it's called Ace World, and it's more of a concept album. As it's also an EP. The majority of them are EPs, and the overwhelming majority of them. So this one is actually kind of interesting, but it's not also like really great. So maybe just limbo tier between A and B. You might pay a visit to my bandcamp page and listen to it. What kind of world is that? or at least was a character of mine, original character. Because I also draw stuff, you know. The majority of covers are drawn by me. So yeah, I'm just not going to elaborate on that. I think it was the last one from 2022. Yeah. So the next one is from 2023, and it's called I Love Mondays. That was when I learned Chinese, so it has a lot of Chinese stuff on the cover. I don't know, just like Chinese. I love the language, I like how it looks. But I'm gonna talk about it later, probably. So that was like March 2023, and it had some good stuff, but as well just had some not very good stuff. Some kind of have mixed feelings about this. I don't know. I feel really like on the fence about this. Maybe it just deserves the limbo status or whatever. Yeah. The next one, I think, what is it called? I don't even know what it is. I might not remember this one, I'm sorry. This one is a very small EP, just 4 tracks, barely enough to fit the definition of extended play. It had a lot of interesting decisions, but still, it could have been better. But I just didn't do that for some reason. I don't know why. So B tier, very promising, but still, the promise didn't take off really. The next one is gonna be Winner. I don't know why did I call it like this. I wanted to call it Victor, but I decided to make it sound more like a Winner. And it was supposed to be another soundtrack for another animated series that I did not animate. I did write the scenario, so to speak, so it's somewhere on my YouTube page in the comments and on my Near Cities page. But yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one also. I think it's cool, like it's much better, so I think it's in the limbo, you know, like it might actually be in the A tier, but I don't know. It just doesn't really, like, one good track and I might have I could have added it to A tier, but sorry, I'm not feeling like this. think it's this one, Kill the Normies, spelled in Cyrillic letters. I like the cover. It's one of those releases that I like really the cover. Like, it's very cool. And I like it. I really do. And it might be A tier. I mean, it's kind of small, but I don't know. Just let's focus on that. It's just cool. It's different. It's well, it's just a good one, I think. So the next one is gonna be, I'm pretty much sure that Death it's called. So it was 2023. I turned 17, and I got in 11th grade. So I think it's very interesting release. So I'm gonna give it an A tier. Again, as I said, it's more like maybe a silver age or whatever, golden age kind of past. I don't know. Maybe the one that I talked about previously, like 2023, was the early ones, the silver age. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh, I don't know. So it's just good. It's not just 5 or 4 tracks, it's 7 or 8, I think. It has some interesting stuff, more like into industrial. Some older ones, some newer ones, and I don't know, it just sounds interesting. So yeah, 8 here. And I think the last one from 2023 is going to be this one, and I think it's called Hanging Nose. And again, it has interesting stuff in it. I like the cover, but I don't know, it's a bit underwhelming compared to the last one, the Death, called spelled as Dearth. So I don't know, I might give it a B tier, but it's not that mediocre, but I don't know, let's just settle on B tier. The first one in 2024, it has Chinese name that I can't spell, not because I don't know Chinese, but because I suck at it. You know, it's a different thing when you name your tracks in Chinese, not because it's trendy, but because you know Chinese. But you also kind of can't spell it, really. I think I started to listen to Cocteau Twins a lot before this release, but it also has some kind of more heavy electronic sound, I don't know, just like it. It was during the time I was in a school band, and I sent him this record, like, hey, I actually make music outside of your little circle joke or whatever. And some of them liked it, just the girls, but the majority just ignored me. I don't know, I might be a bit narcissistic here, but I don't know, I just feel like it's really great. And it was great. I don't know, it was January 2024, and I had very good feelings about this one. Maybe it could have been S tier, just to be very like positive about it, just to add some positivity. The next one, I think it's called, it also has a Russian name, but I'm not sure. I think it's called "Если казаться слабым." Actually, this one is cool. It really is cool, and I don't know. S tier? I don't know. I sent it to some like music fans, music connoisseurs, whatever. They liked it, but maybe I'm rating too high, but I'm not sure. It had like 8 tracks. It had 3 tracks in the beginning, but then I had 4 then the 5th one, and I realized, okay, I'm gonna cook with this one. So S tier. Music that came out of it was just great. I don't know, and all in all, it was just a good time. I don't know why. I just I don't know, maybe I'm a masochist or something, but it was great. Bittersweet, but great. So the next one, I think it's called "Stop Being." I planned to call "Stop Being Yourself," but then I removed "yourself," so it's like "Stop Being." And the one track is more like from the march, so it had like this kind of sad, some kind of vibes from it that kind of jacked it from this release. But all in all, it was very positive, and it had one really interesting stuff. So A tier. I might move it, like here, just to signify the hierarchy between these ones. Yeah, like really great. It was like, I don't know, like Taylor Swift post-breakup album or whatever, when I'm like all cool and empowered stuff. The next one is, I think it's called Pothead Girl and Toy Boy. Weird name, whatever. Also, as you know, my name, the project name is Fair White is Sick, and that's when the shift started. I mean, yeah, just a note. And this one has like 3 tracks. The majority of them are like in just guitar, and it sounds kind of corny. It sounds kind of I don't know how to feel about this one. It just drags a lot. Just 3 tracks on C tier. I don't know. It's not bad, but it's very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. Even more than these ones. Next one is more of a compilation album, but it had some new stuff, and it's called Fired. I like the cover. I drew it myself, as I always do. It's more of a harsh return to harsh electronic sound. You know, it has like very like hardcore techno stuff. Some of the older demos from earlier years, but it has some good stuff. I think it's going to be somewhere here. You know, not S tier, I suppose, but yeah, it's just great, really great, but still not an S tier, because I do value S tier. It's more of a, like, personal issues, personal reasons, but yeah. So the next one is called, I don't remember what it's called. I think it was the time I wanted to make another full album. You know, like, it was like, oh, I'm making too much EPs, I have to like do more like LPs. But then I wanted to make it quicker. It sucks. It sucks in general. I'm going to actually like find the name on it on my bandcamp page. I think it's called Straight in Duality. So yeah, I started reading philosophy a lot during this time, and I like the Gilles Deleuze and Oedipus kind of stuff. I mean, if you like Deleuze and Guattari, you just know this. You know this shit. 11 tracks. I mean, imagine that. And it had some The Beatles cover, because but I didn't name it the original name, because Paul McCartney is a greedy pig who stole a song from his dead bandmate, and decided to make money of it. I mean, he can do it, but I can't, apparently. But I still released it. Nevertheless, I just changed the name. You know, it was like the Beatles song or whatever. It was just sounded weird. But I decided to make a cover myself, and it was like some kind of industrial new wave shit, whatever. So, as you might have guessed, my efforts to make a full album are usually very bad, because I can't wait. That's a bad quality, and that's why I'm focusing on gathering good stuff recently. You know, not just releasing like 3-track EPs the moment you have the opportunity to mimic some kind of to mimic success, very performative attitude towards art. So it kind of drags, but not in a, I don't know. So I think it's gonna be B tier. And the next one, I think it's called Like Me, Don't Be Like Me, or whatever, something of that kind. Just Like Me, something like this. And yeah, Just Like Me. The official distribution on Spotify has another cover, but I just used this one, and it has some good stuff that I made during the end of August, well, during the August, and it had like this single, because I released it, oh, not this one, I think it's, what's this one, yeah, and had this cover. I actually downloaded on my YouTube, and it kind of blew up, if 1.8 thousand views is appropriate. Sampled Aurora's vocals, and some people liked it. I think it's going to be in the limbo, because it's not like great, but somewhere here, I suppose. Okay, so we're moving towards the rest. So by that time I graduated, I got admitted to the university. I was very happy, and the coolest part about this that it didn't made me to a zombie that I thought it was going to make me. I still cycled to my university, even though I wasn't used to it, you know. Usually I would just walk for half a minute towards my school, but then I got admitted to the university. That was a bit far, but damn, it was so cool, because I just listened to music, any music I liked. It was like a journey on its own, and it didn't didn't rub off on my productivity, my musical performance in any negative way. So I released this EP from 4 tracks, but I think it's very cool. You know, it has Patrick Bateman on cover with a shit ton of effects, so I don't know. I think it's cool. It's a very cool one. Not very like great, but I don't know. Just I felt very invigorated. You know, like I can be very good at university. Like my academic performance was kind of cool, actually. And I also make music. So this one, I actually united it with the last one on my YouTube page, but on bandcamp I still can't help but mispronounce it because of autism, whatever. Bandcamp page, these are 2. So again, I wanted to make a release badly, and I did have some tracks, but I don't know. So I'm going to judge it as a separate one, and it's very underwhelming. Yeah, it's gonna be C tier. But about this one, I actually combined the names of these 2, so I'm going to judge this one as it is on my YouTube page, so the extended version, whatever. And this is the last one that I made during the May of 2025. I think it's cool, and some people liked it, even though there are no comments under my video, but 100 views is kind of cool for some kind of niche YouTube or whatever music maker. So I'm going to make it I don't know about the A tier, but let's just be honest, it's going to be somewhere here, because it's just a bit better, I suppose, but it's not great, really. So yeah, that's it. I might revise the conclusion, but I think that's it. Go and listen to my music, and yeah, see how shitty it is or how great it is. Have your own opinions and get a life like myself.